Alright, here goes page 4 of the review. We're going to be solving by factoring. Generally, when you're solving by factoring, you want one side to be 0. So anytime you don't have the equation set to 0, make sure that it is. So as I look at number 27, there's 24 is over there. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to both sides. So x squared minus 10x plus 24 equals 0. Of course, you always look for GCF first. Nothing common there. 3 terms meant we should go for AC method. Our A value is 1, our C value is 24, so A times C is 24. We need 24 to add up to negative 10. That would be negative 6 and negative 4. So those two numbers that we just got should go into the middle of the problem. Make sure you put an X on both of those. And once it's 4 terms, we go for factoring by grouping. First 2 terms have an X in them. Leave you with X minus 6. Next 2 terms both have negative 4 in them. Leave with X minus 6. So the X minus 6's come together. And the X minus 4. And the last thing we'll do is solve, right? So we only factor, we haven't solved yet, so each of these gets to become an equation. So adding 6 to both sides, x equals 6, x minus 4 equals 0, so then adding 4 to both sides. So x equals 4. Alright. So here, once again, we do not have it set to 0, so I'm going to move, get everything one side. Always try to keep the x squared term positive if you can. Makes factoring easier. So I'm going to move everything to it. So I'm going to add 11x and add 3 to both sides. So 6x squared plus 11x plus 3 equals 0. Again, look for GCF if there's one. Don't have one. So we're going to do AC method since there's 3 terms. A times C, so 6 times 3 is 18. We need 18 to add up to 11. So it would be 9 and 2. So again, those 2 numbers go into the middle of the problem. Positive 9. Positive 2. It doesn't matter what order you write those in. If you want to do 2 and then 9, you can. Then we factor by grouping. 6 and 9 both have a 3 in them and an x. And then 3x times 2x is 6x squared. And 3x times 3 is 9x. 2x and 3 don't share anything, so we get a 1. Make sure you're putting that plus sign there by that 1. And the 2x plus 3's go together, and the 3x and the 1 go together. And again, we split this off into 2 equations. Subtract 3, divide by 2. Just leave that as a fraction. Subtract 1, divide by 3. Just leave that as a fraction. There's 28. Oh, that was fun. Once again, did not have a 0 on side, so I'm going to subtract 6q. 9q squared minus 6q minus 8 equals 0. Again, no common factors, so go to AC method. A times C, so 9 times 8 is 72, so negative 72. Negative 72 factors that to add up to negative 6, which would be positive 6 and negative 12. Plus 6q minus 12q minus 8 equals 0. Factor by grouping, 6 and 9 both have 3, and they both have a q. 12 and 8 both have 4 in them. I need to take out negative 4 since it's negative 12. That'll leave me with 3q and positive 2. And then the 3q plus 2's come together, and the 3q and the minus 4 come together. 0. And the last step is that each result equals 0. So subtract 2 and divide by 3. Add 4 and divide by 3. Alright. 30. Alright, this time it is set equal to 0, so again look for common factors. I don't have any, so I'm going to go straight to AC. So A times C is negative 24. Negative that to be 5. Factors 24, that'd be 5, would be 3. And 8 would give me 5, so I need my negative 3 and positive 8. So 4y squared minus 3y plus 8y minus 6 equals 0. Factor by grouping, 4 and 3 don't have anything on, but they do have a y. I'll leave to the 4y minus 3. And 8 and 6 both have a 2 in them, which would be 4y minus 3. And then that would leave me with 4y minus 3 and y plus 2. Add 3 to both sides, divide by 4. Subtract 2 to both sides. Alright, there's those two answers. Next one. Alright, so got one side to 0. Look for a GCF, and there is a GCF, which is x. So I factored, because there's nothing left to do inside the parentheses. So it means I go ahead and solve. So it means x equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. So subtract 5 to both sides. That was easy. Love those GCF problems. 32. Look for GCF. Both 6 and 9 have a 3 in them, and they both have an x. It's going to leave us a 2x and a negative 3. Looks like another easy GCF factoring. Nothing left to do in the parentheses. Get 3x equals 0, divide by 3. 0 divided by 3 is 0. Add 3 to both sides. And divide by 2, so x equals 3 divided by 2. Alright, there's all those solving by factoring problems. Let's see, simplify or rationalize. So we're going to be doing some sock method here on the square root of 200. So break it down. 2 times 100, which is 2 times 50, which is 2 times 25, which is 5 times 5. Once it's all broken down, you go looking for pairs, since we're square rooting. A pair of 2's and a pair of 5's, and a lonely 2. So every pair gets to come outside. Has 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 25 is 5. And then everything that was alone stays inside. So that would leave me with 2 times 5, which is 10 square roots of 2. It's the same thing as the square root of 200. Number 34. The quotient property of radicals says that a radical divided by a radical can be done, or it can be written as one big radical. 72 divided by 2 is 36. And square root of 36 is 6. The product property of radicals says this can be rewritten as 3 times 24 times 12 is 288. I guess I should have written it out. So that'd be 24 times 12. So that'd be 3 radical 288. And 2 times 144, which is 2 times 72, which is 2 times 36, which is 2 times 18, which is 2 times 9, which is 3 times 3. Alright, lots of pairs. I got a pair of 2s. Pair of 2s. And a pair of 3s. And then a lonely 2. So every pair gets to come outside. So I got 2 on the outside. Times another 2 on the outside. Times a pair of 3s on the or 3 on the outside. And then the only thing that was lonely was the 2. 2 times 2 times 3 is 12 square roots of 2. Solve by square rooting. So here we do not want one side to be equal to 0. We want basically just get x by itself. So I would do following sad map as I do this. In this case, the only thing I have left to do for this x is give the exponent the square root of both sides. Now, whenever you square root, you make sure you put that plus minus in there. There's 2 answers to that question. And then we are going to simplify the square root of 8, which is 2 times 4, which is 2 times 2. Pair of 2s and lonely 2. So that means x is equal to positive or negative 2 radical 2. So that 2 came out. That 2 stayed in. So still following sad map. So S-A-D-M-E-P. So as I try to get x by itself, I'm going to follow that. So I want to get everything away from this. So I'm going to subtract 12 first. Since that falls in this. 9x squared equals 36. Now look for a division or multiplication to do and divide by 9. So x squared equals 4. And then we're going to get rid of the exponent, so square root. So x equals positive or negative square root of 4. Well, of course, square root of 4 is just 2. So x equals plus or minus 2. There's solving by square roots. Alright, there's the end of page 4.